I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? Okay, so it is a wonderful day, and you know it. I love today, as well as yesterday and the day before. And tomorrow, if I wake up, it'll be another wonderful day. And I hope that you see it the same way. We have a wonderful guest on the show today. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. So today we have Robert. He's the president of and the CEO of Cymcorp International, Inc., and is a formulator and a patent holder for the non-toxic, non-invasive, clinically proven therapy for the treatment of host immune system and a host immune system related diseases entitled VPROX, as well as the host of a wellness educational podcast entitled Good Solid Health Podcast. I want to welcome him to the show.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing good. I love that.
A delayed reaction there. I didn't know you were talking to me. I thought you were talking to the audience.
Oh, goodness gracious. Like that imposter syndrome. Is he talking to me? Well, who was that?
He's talking to me.
Was he talking to me? Oh, my goodness. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Well, it's actually very nice to be here. I mean, it's a welcome change for us. It's getting very cold where we are, and you are a bit warmer. So, man, I wish I was in your shoes instead of mine.
Well, I don't have any shoes on.
Oh my God, then I should be sitting on your seat, and then we'll leave it at that.
But I want to thank you. I mean, this is all about being honest, right? And also about being truthful to the people who are listening. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So, Robert, it's a good day, and let's go ahead and start. I'm certain the audience would want to know about you and explain your in layman terms, because like ABC 1, 2, 3. What is the immune system and the host immune system, and what diseases we're talking about today?
Okay, we're going to make 47 years of research,
oh goodness,
years of empirical study, right down to nice and manageable explanation, okay? When we're talking about a host immune system, we're basically talking about your immune system being invaded, host, immune, and then to put in proper context, many, many years ago, we had, we're going to go 100 years ago, we had the flu, which today, right. Influenza, we call it the flu. It's influenza. It's a virus that invaded the immune system. Then many years after that, we had SARS, if you recall. It was a big scare. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. Then we have H1N1. Here in Canada, where I live, not so far away, Toronto, they closed the city for 3 days. I mean, it was supposed to be and then you've got today COVID-19. So that's a host immune system. Your system has been invaded by a virus, but it can be a parasite, a bacteria, a mold. It can even be environmental products. So basically what we are talking about is just your immune system has been invaded, and we developed a therapy to counteract the ill effect of this invasion. But for you and your audience to understand, we got to go back in time.
Please.
See, 21 years ago, I got a horrific statistic that 15 million children were orphaned of AIDS in Africa. Now, my wife, 15 million. I know you're looking at me. That's 30 million parents dying. That's 27,000 people per day were dying back then. If you recall, that virus ostracized gay people. Parents wouldn't even kiss their children, if they had AIDS. We put them in a special category, a bit like today. You're a vax and non-vax. Well, you're gay and you've got AIDS. Then and all of this. Took a toll, but it was a virus.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was. So my wife and I, when we got this statistic, we say we can't have children being raised without the love, care, attention, and guidance of a parent. It doesn't make sense. And in this day and age, even though we're going back 21 years ago, I told my wife, there has to be a solution. And we worked on it. And long story short, with a medical team, we came up with what we call VPROX. By the way, for people on the line, it's not BIPROX, it's VPROX. And V in French stands for life, and PROX for proximity to a quality of life. That's what we're offering. And basically, we went to a clinical study, and we got 98.9% efficacy on people who had AIDS. And this has been peer-reviewed by 2 US universities, and it was done under World Health Organization standards. So basically what we're saying by bringing this to light is that this is a serious approach.
Yeah.
Now, it's also non-toxic, non-invasive, meaning you don't need a needle in your arm, and you don't need to be afraid of what you're going to take and need a doctor. It is an over-the-counter, very natural, but it works. Now, before we get any further, I want to dispel this myth that natural products don't work.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
Only pharmaceutical products can work. It doesn't work that way. It's not true. Natural product work just as good as pharmaceutical product. But a pharmaceutical product is a product that they've isolated a certain molecule, and that molecule will attack another molecule in your body. You have a headache, you take an aspirin. The aspirin will take care of the headache, but you're going to have complication like, upset stomach and stuff, because there are always counterindication. A pharmaceutical product is an antigen, an unknown foreign substance in your system, and your system will fight back. What we're talking about here is not an attack. We're going to empower your whole organism to be able to do what it's supposed to be. It's defend itself. Now, people don't know this, but we're a cesspool of bacteria, parasites, molds, and if we saw in the microscope, nobody would be eating again.
No.
And your immune system keeps
or blinking.
Exactly. Or kissing. People wouldn't kiss if they knew. So what we have developed is something which is user-friendly, can be used by a pregnant woman, a newborn child, and it works at 98.9% efficacy. 98.9%. Wow. Now, back then, you need to understand, we were doing it because people had AIDS.
Right.
Okay. And the culprit for AIDS was the AIDS virus, but people don't know this. You never die of AIDS. You die of opportunistic diseases because of a compromised immune system.
Exactly.
So let's bring it to today. COVID-19, H1N1, the flu season. It's the same thing. The only word that changes is COVID-19, H1N1, but it's still a virus. You understand? Worse than that, the environment is actually responsible. Environmental conditions are 90% of disease. So I'll take your listener on the line. If you've had a chronic colds in winter, by definition, you have AIDS. AIDS, advanced immune deficiency syndrome. Your immune system has been compromised. See, people just take the word AIDS. They never analyze why does it exist. Now, in the African context, it was a virus. In the North American context, it's your lifestyle. Basically, your immune system is being attacked left, right, dead, and center. And unless you do something about it, you're going to catch some kind of condition. And then we're going to blame the wrong person. We go at the root cause of any dysfunction at the intracellular level. We don't treat, see, big pharma, the medical establishment, and I'm not knocking them. My father was, working for a big pharmaceutical firm and all this, but they are disease managers. They will just go and, you've got this condition, we're going to give you this, and we're going to attack, and then why not look at the person holistically? So P-Prox is actually a trilogy of product that answers, the 3 necessary components to sustain life. Do you know what they are?
Okay. Water.
Exactly.
Sleep.
Okay. Yes, rest.
And food.
Okay. So air, water, and food is what we address. See, we define health not as the mere absence of disease. It is total spiritual, emotional, physical, and financial well-being. Why did we throw in financial well-being? Because there are so many people today that if they had just a few $100s more a month, they would have a normal lifestyle. And the stress, by the way, I said environment is 90% of disease. Well, 80% of that is stress. Cut out the stress in your life, and guess what? Your body has the intrinsic ability actually in desire to stay disease-free. And to prove it, you probably have heard of this Harnecke man who went to live in Alaska alone for 35 years. Now, he went in, and what people don't know is they had a deficiency in his eyes. He had no doctors, sorry. He had nothing, no medication, not even any supplements. But he lived off the land with beautiful food that had value, you understand? No stress, clean air. So the government said, well, we're going to go and see what's happening with this guy. Maybe he's dead. And when they went to see him 2 years later, his eyesight had gotten to be 20/20. No medication, no doctors, no nothing, no supplements. So if you create the right environment, then your body has the ability to regenerate itself. And that's what Viprox does. It regenerates your whole organism. And then when you're in a state of balance, you don't have to fear any intruder. So I will ask you, before we go any further, 3 questions. And the audience, and we're going to ask the audience, they can't, but play along. You know,
yeah, well, you guys can comment below, and then we'll keep our eye on the comments and we'll answer you.
Perfect. So here's what it is. Would you agree that we're all made up of energy and cells?
Yes.
Good. Because a lot of people will say, what do you mean? Energy? Isn't that esoteric? No, it's not. You're basically, a cancer is actually bad energy. It is a sick cell that will proliferate 5 to 10 times faster than your healthy cell and takes over your body, and then you die from it. So you've got about 100 to 150 trillion cells in your body.
Right.
Okay. The second premise, would you agree that if we gave your body the right substrates, and we'll call it building blocks or fuel, that your body has the ability to regain a state of balance and health?
Yes.
Good. Man, you're easy to work with. A hard time. But the truth is, if we go back to indigenous people, and that's what, when I give conferences in Africa and all over the world, I say, you don't need my products. Why are we here? Why are we on the line today? Why are we talking about AIDS when we're going to be talking about mental health or, you know, or other? Because in those days, they would take an herb, they would take a plant, they would put it, and then you would drink it. And then your body would regain a state of balance. Now, everybody thinks it's the herb or the plant. No, the herb and the plant only created the environment.
Right.
Okay. Your body is the only mechanism that can heal by itself. And to prove it, our medical advisor, or former medical advisor, Dr. Bender, used to tell this story. He was an emergency ER specialist. And then there's a car accident. Somebody comes in, laceration, broken bones, contusions, a mess. What does the doctor do? He will make sutures. He will place the bone where it's supposed to be and isolate it. He will actually put the patient in a state which is comfortable. And then they send you home nowadays. They don't keep you in hospital. They don't have time for it.
Right.
The doctor is not there. He's not taking any pills. And then 2 weeks later, he comes back and we take the sutures, and we don't even have to do that anymore because the sutures come off themselves. And then the cast comes off. And so the healing is done by the body. The problem is that people believe that they need a pill for this to happen.
Wow.
No, you don't. No, you don't. In acute cases, you do. And generally speaking, you don't. So the last premise, okay? And this is a very hard one for people to understand, or to accept, I should say. According to our company, diseases don't exist. And I know you have probably professionals on listening, and they're going to start writing, okay? And you got people who've had, you know, I said 30 years I've had high blood pressure, and this guy says they don't exist. They're words. If you go and you analyze it, every disease, simply stated, is a cellular dysfunction. So if we take care of the cells, cells take care of the tissue, and the tissue takes care of the dysfunctionality. We are in the cellular health business. That's simple. We don't diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. It would be legal for us to do so. We are in the cellular health business. And when people start to understand that they're made up as a whole 150 trillion cells, if all your cells are healthy, then guess what? The rest of your body has to be healthy.
That's right.
That's simple.
That's right. You're right. You're certainly right. I totally believe in that. And I take my supplements, and a lot of people say, well, what's the difference between that and that? I'm going to say, well, there is a big difference if you want to regulate your body, if you want your body to be in its optimal state. Also, we are what we eat. But also, I think that mental health, stability, and regulation in the body all goes together, because if we're stressed out, we're not going to heal very good. I mean, literally, we're not. So, I mean, is that a factor with the VPROX that helps you to regulate not only your body, but your mental health as well? Does it put you in a good mood?
Of course. You touched right on the dot, because people don't understand what mental health is, or stress. Let's just call it. Let's not go into this big stigmatism about mental health, because we're going to be discussing that later. Let's just talk about stress right now, which is, it's the biggest killer. Because what it does when you breathe, people don't know this, you cause what we call oxidative stress. You actually attack your cells. Okay, the more you breathe, the more you attack. If you don't breathe properly, guess what? Your cells get attacked and you oxidize, just like a nail that you would put outside, and then 2 days later it's all rusted. Exact same process. Now, people who are unhappy, people who are stressed, don't breathe properly. As you've noticed, people who are happy, like yourself, you're standing up upright, you're looking good in the whole. Somebody who's unhappy, stressed, they go down like this, they have shallow breathing, and guess what? They accelerate the oxidative damage to the cells. Now, a lot of people say, so what? I got the 150 trillion cells, you said, Robert. Yeah, but you know what? You're attacking every one of your cells. Now, if you had, for some instance, example, a beginning of a cancer, well, you've just accelerated the process. Okay. If you had another condition, you just accelerated the process. And guess what? You are in a state of danger. So stress out of your life. Yeah. It's very important that people understand how that's 80% of disease, 80%. Then you got the gut. We'll be discussing that a bit later. But yes, to answer your question, that's why VPROX exists, because one of the components called GSH complex is documented with over 153,000. I want people to understand this number, 153,000 medical articles. There's not one pharmaceutical product in this world that is as documented as the phenomenon of GSH. They can go on PubMed for people who are, and you got to be skeptical. You can say, well, this guy with his French accent, he could be lying to me. No, I'm not lying, but you know what? Take it that I could be lying. Go on PubMed, go on Medline, punch in whatever condition of concern that you have, stress in this, and then look up GSH. You're going to have thousands and thousands of peer review medical articles to substantiate why it is so important to look at GSH, which is part of our which we call it our VPROX package.
Wow. Yeah, wow. That's a big deal. People don't realize that medical doctors talk to each other, and we can actually see that. So that's what you're talking about when you see, and I get a lot of medical articles on my phone. So when something comes up or a doctor reviews something, it automatically hits my phone. I look at it. Is this something that's going to help me? Is this something that's going to hinder me? Am I doing something wrong? Am I doing something right? And there's always, contradicting articles, because they're doing multiple studies, and it's really, really good to find this out. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is, you said for a moment, you said depression. Can we overcome depression?
Of course you can. Of course. Look, mental health, and let's define it. We're not going to go to dementia. We're not going to go to basically, schizophrenia. It starts. You know where it starts in most places. First of all, there's an environment. Okay, if you attack your brain with so much toxicity, at one point some of it will seep in, the blood-brain barrier has to be protected. That's why most of your brain is actually fat, because the fat will catch on. But if you get attacked by a certain chemical, then of course you are at risk. Now, if we take today we got COVID-19. We don't know, when it started, if the whole world was going to, die. We don't, one day our governments are saying, you got to wear your mask. The next day, no, you got to get this distancing. You can't kiss your children anymore. Oh, if you're a child, you can go. If you're an adult, you're at risk, which, by the way, if you are, all the statistics really show that if you're over 65, 70, that's the highest risk. You understand? But then your brain is bombarded by all sorts of information that you don't trust. And when you don't trust, you're in a fear factor, undecisiveness. And then what happens is you go into a state where you're burning, yet again, oxidation, and you're damaging your cells. So can you protect yourself from that? Of course you can. There's certain things that you can do, easy things that I like to tell people. Very easy stuff. First of all, your posture. Okay? Tony Robbins, last week I was watching the I don't remember which show. Tony Robbins was on the show, and then he actually told people there are research materials right now that prove that your posture will change something in your brain, and then that you will have a better state of being. So if we look at people, and then when they're stressed or they're unhappy, they go down like this. They look at the ground. You understand? When you look at happy people, their shoulders are back.
Yeah.
You breathe properly, and then they find the nice side, the good side of life. I remember many years ago, we had a lady that called me up, and she says to my wife, I want to talk to the guy who invented this miracle product. So my wife passes and she says, are you the guy? I said, yes, I am, but I don't know what you mean by miracle product. Well, I'll tell you. And she was really decisive. And then she says, my brother has got prostate cancer. His oncologist says, go get this product at the pharmacy, take it. 2 weeks later, the prostate is normal.
What?
So then, yes. I know nobody likes to talk about the prostate, but I'll tell you what, exactly.
What?
So, let me finish and then I'll answer your what, okay? So then what happens, she says, well, you know what? My mother is 87 years old. She's in her chair all the time. She's depressed. She doesn't move from there. We went on your website and we read all of the testimonials. So we decided to give the product to my mother. Well, yesterday, and that's what she says, yesterday, she gets out of her chair. She's walking around and she's actually whistling. And then we could see that she was standing upright and we couldn't believe it. So that's why I call your product the miracle product.
Oh my gosh.
And I swear to God, I said, well, what can I do for you? And she had a list this long for herself. And then we went to talking. But here's what it is. Before anybody goes any further and think, oh, he's saying he can cure. No, I never said that. Right. What I told the lady and what I'm going to tell you, I said, we are in the cellular health business. Whether it's your brain, your eyes, whatever it is, we will, because it's a cellular function, we will take care of the cells will take care of the tissue and the dysfunctionality. And when you understand that concept, you don't have to call it, cancer or prostate cancer or anything. What you might not know is the same product we use for cataract, macular degeneration. We put it topically. And guess what? You don't have to get operated. I know that's a very bold statement. I'll go even further. I'll go even further. There's this lady, her name is Rose. She sees me on TV. 83 years old, 2 breast cancer, tuberculosis. She's in bed. She's paralyzed. She buys the product. A few days later, she's out of bed. Now 83, she's still working because her husband has a business of heating business. Goes back to work, and Rose calls me up one day and she says, Robert, this did so good inside of me. Do you think I can put it on my skin to look younger? I said, of course, Rose. How should I do that? I say, take any cream that you have to put it in there and then put it on your face, and then half an hour later, you take it off. There's a protocol. Long story short. Okay.
Oh my gosh. No, no, no. You have got to stop for a second. This is too much. Wait a minute. Wait, my brain. Hold on a second, Robert. Okay. I have friends with cancer.
Okay.
I have friends with my brother who has some issues, some health issues, my sister. Okay, so you're telling me that in the United States I can get this product too?
Of course, anywhere in the world, but actually where we do the most of our business is the United States. Now, I gotta say something, okay? The product did not do the work.
Right, I understand that.
Set the stage for your body to do what you were supposed to do, what you had intrinsic abilities since you were born, which you lost because of environmental condition or because of, and when you understand that, you understand the power of what we have to offer. Okay.
Okay, I got you. So, no, wait. I'm just, hold on. I'm trying to understand this because I want to make sure that if I can get it, then anybody can get it. Okay, because I am not the smartest person in the world. Okay, but okay, so we take the product. We do have to change. We can't be going to McDonald's and Burger King and all those places. We are what we eat at this point. If we can develop healthy eating habits and give ourselves that opportunity to heal, will that help as well along with the product?
Absolutely. You said it. It's, lifestyle's everything. We started talking about, mental stress, now, give little tips and all this, but the truth is, people, you have to help yourself. People, some come to us and they say, Rabbi, I got this condition. My first question is, do you drink? Oh yeah, man, I'm drinking, like, I'm exaggerating now, but a 40 ouncer. Do you smoke? Yes, I smoke.
Right.
Are you willing to stop? No, I'm not. Well, then don't waste your money. I'm not gonna, make you spend a few $100 on by the way, I say a few $100, we guarantee the results. If you don't get an undeniable results, okay, within 1 month of use by using the product, we will give you back your money.
Nice.
Okay, so we put our mouth where, whatever the expression is, we're not going to hide behind anything. We're not saying, oh, well, you didn't use it properly. We're not. No, we give results. When I did this, my lawyer said, oh, you're going to get, you're going to lose a lot of money. I say, no, when you help people,
right,
people don't exaggerate.
Right.
But people, you need, your audience has to understand something. The doctors who are listening to this are probably saying, this guy is going too far. No. Your body was made to be healthy, not to be sick. It is a misconception that, oh, I'm 57 years old. It's normal that I'm getting up in the morning and I'm stiff. No, it's not normal. I went with my wife on our honeymoon. I was 42 years old, if I recall. And I went to Austria. We went up trekking in the mountain. I was 42. And then there were people 70 years and older who were going up faster than we were, and they weren't sweating. They were like, wow, good morning. Like, that means good morning in German, you understand? And they were happy, and I was sweating, and I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with this picture? Lifestyle. So you said it, lifestyle. You say it's all in the food that you eat. If people had community gardens, okay, or personal gardens, they don't need supplementation. It's in the food. But we're talking to the masses right now, not the exception to the rule. If you lived in Alaska, happy, bliss, no problem with the love of your life, and you're living off the land, you don't need my product. If you live in Africa, believe it or not, that's what I told her, the Minister of Health of all the countries down there that I did business with. And I told them, if you would have put in the millions of dollars to prove some of the herbs, some of the plants that you have in your country can work the way our product works, you would not need my products. So I'm not here to push something on people. I'm here to educate.
Right.
And you're absolutely right. Whether it's mental health, depression, burnout, fibromyalgia. Let's talk about fibromyalgia for fun.
Yes, let's do that.
Do you know what fibromyalgia is?
No, you tell me, because you probably know better than I do. I just know it's pain.
Yes. You are a woman, okay, 40 years ago. Women decided to go on the workplace and they're going to say, we're going to start working. You understand? But then they're educated, they got diplomas and they get a job. And then the owner of the company says, you're going to be paid half of what men are paid. Whoa, that didn't sit very well. Okay. So now there's resentment, oxidative stress. Okay. Then they go home and then they have to do the homework with the children, but they did 10-hour day, you know, when you take the commuting and all. After that, they make the supper. After the supper, they have to wash the dishes, but men won't get up, you know, and wash dishes. After that, they got to bathe the children. And then while they're doing all of this and your husband is not moving and the guys are going to hate me for this. And the guy says, hey, hon, can you get me a beer? Because, you know, we're in the third period of the hockey. The resentment builds up. And it happens year after year after year till one day.
And the wifely duties. Don't forget those.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay, because I'm just going to be there. Okay, we're just going to be real. By the time that comes up, it's like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So then she said, I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
I'm tired. So she starts crying every once in a while. But God forbid, she can't tell anybody. This goes on for years. Then after that, she's crying all the time. So she goes and sees the doctor. You know what the doctors used to say in those days? It's all in your head. Take this, go home.
Yep.
Then she has a burnout. She's dysfunctional at work, dysfunctional at home, and she just can't cope with it. So the doctor says, take 2 weeks off. You're going to be okay. That's exactly what's happening. And when I give conferences, people, I look in the audience and I see women going, oh my God, they can see their mothers, they can see their sisters, okay? It doesn't stop there.
Right.
Now they've had a burnout. 2 weeks later, they go back to work, they think, I'm okay, look at this, wow, you know? But the resentment's still there. And then fibromyalgia. You know what fibromyalgia is? You know, they all have their theories. It's very simple. Oxidative stress, so much that your cells are like being bit by a snake. You've got these dysfunctional cells that are attacking your body, and then you're in bed, and you know what? There's no making love because you can't even touch the person. That's what fibromyalgia is. Okay. We took this lady. She had been 8 years off of work. The last 3 years before we met her, her daughter used to pass the vacuum cleaner because she couldn't do it. You're depressed, you're burnt out. We gave her the product on a Saturday. She took it on a Sunday. Monday morning, she started cleaning the house. 3 months later, she had the job. And this is one of our oldest customer. Okay. So when people tell me that natural products don't work, I tell them something. This is natural. I'm a bit thirsty right now. So guess what I'm going to do?
You're going to drink some water. Take that product. That's
and
right.
then all of a sudden, I'm hydrated again. There is a biochemical reaction that happens in the body, whether it's a poison, an antigen like a pharmaceutical product, or a natural product, or a good food.
Yeah. And
it all happens. So point in case is, yes, we can give results because we don't take care of the disease. We take care of the person. And if doctors today, went back to the good old doctors, remember the doctor in a small town, he would know everything about you because when you were a little girl, he was there. When you grew as a woman, he's there. And then when your husband is beating you up, he knows because he's been there. You understand? And he would treat you. He would understand when you go crying in his office, instead of asking you, well, is there a history of cancer in your family? He would say, how's it going at home? And then when you start crying, he knows that you're overstressed. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We take care of the root cause of any dysfunction. That's what we do.
Wow. And you did say something about posture as well. You know, I like to sit up straight. I find that when I do sit up straight, I feel better. Even though I'm maybe a little bit stressed, I feel like as if, okay, I can do this. If I sit up straight, if I allow myself to kind of like do this, I feel down. I feel like, oh, the world is on top of my shoulders. Literally, I feel crushed. So I choose to sit up. You say about posture helping depression, and then the product and the lifestyle, and then you have your podcast. So let's talk about that.
Okay, well, our podcast is a simple podcast. I started this 6-7 months ago. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Good Solid Health Podcast, which basically we take any topic. See, you might not know this, but there are topics worldwide, which is like this month is Movember month, men's health. We all think it's about prostate. It's all mainly about prostate, but it's about, generally speaking, men. So we discuss, simple ways. Inevitably, we try to be as neutral as possible to give the left side of the medal and the right side of the medal. But obviously, I am in the natural health business because I believe in taking, care of people holistically. And I don't believe in attacking. And I don't believe, when I did my clinical studies and my patents on AIDS, I said there has to be a natural way of taking care of this condition. Okay. Yeah. I don't believe in putting a poison in somebody that's already sick. See, so but you got to understand, these are two different philosophies. So then people, they ask me, well, Robert, you don't believe in the vaccines? Look, they're all wrong. Say no. If you look at what's happening right now, doctors have been indoctrinated in thinking we're going to attack that virus. Okay, call it COVID-19, AIDS, H1N1, we're going to attack it. Wow. Then we go back, and I'll give a name, Luc Montagnier, which is the co-discoverer of the AIDS virus. He's the one who actually got the Nobel Prize for isolating the AIDS virus. And in a conference, he said, you cannot attack the virus. You have to look at, enhancing the person's immunity with antioxidants, with hydration, proper nutrition, and hygiene. And you said something very important, sleep.
Yeah.
People think that they're going to be productive because they're going to work 16-hour days. I work in the Philippines, and they do 6 days of 12 to 16 hours. How can you be productive? You're not productive. You're burnt out.
Yeah.
You can't think properly. You can't work properly. That's not productivity. So sleep is important. You put all of this together, and obviously the tools that we're offering you. Okay. So our podcast is about giving nice, simple solutions, which I didn't do today. For some reason, we got going, you understand, but we can always go back to it. Yeah. And the podcast, and then obviously we will bring it when the context is right to what we have to offer, because people are looking at, can I pop a pill? Or in our case, it's not a pill. There are some, but it's three different parts. There's a powder, there's a liquid, and there's a pill. But the whole idea is we're going to give, for those who don't have access to community gardens, or to have their own gardens, or to have the right supplementation, a nice package that says, look, take this, and if you don't get results, I'll give you back your money. That's basically it. So our podcast is a simple weekly podcast called Good. You want to feel good. Solid, you want it to last for a long time. Health, it's easy to remember, which is the acronym of this, GSH, which is the phenomenon of the cellular health, which is documented with 153,000 medical articles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, there is just so many different things that we could talk about today, but I want people to actually go to the Good Solid Health podcast and check it out. And I also want them to go to the link, and everything will be in the description box below. That way you guys can actually go there and check it out, just like I'm going to do today. Because, we all need that good cellular health. We all need to be sitting straight up, and we all need to understand that without each other here on this earth, being productive, there is no good life really for no one. I have something that you need. You have something that I need. We need to stay in good health to do that. And that's the Good Solid Health podcast right there. See how I did that? Hey! So I am so excited. Let me ask you a question. I mean, for those people who are in despair, or any teenager, I mean, what kind of advice do you give to these people?
Okay, here's what it is. I say, don't stay alone. All right?
Don't stay alone?
No, don't stay alone. Nowadays, which really hurts me is look, you and I am much older than you are, but when I was growing up, we would hold hands with a girl. Okay? Now, they take this thing, and they meet a girl.
Yeah.
And they go in a restaurant, and they're like this, and they're alone. Even though this has brought the whole world together, We have
It's
never
still
been
separated.
as alone as we are today. And the teenagers now, not only they're being told, because I have grandchildren that are teenagers, and then they're told, oh, you want to go out with this guy, but you got to wear your mask. Okay. Oh, you got to keep 6 feet distance. He's a vax. You're an unvax. Oh, you can't be together. I hate that one. I swear to God.
They say that? Okay.
Yes, they do say that. Why does it have to be a confrontation all the time? I have a cousin of mine. She's an artist, and she sent me something that's unbelievable. Two things I'll discuss. People are fighting about this vax and unvax thing. Okay. So then this guy draws a 6 and puts it on the ground, and he puts his opponent in front of him. He says, what do you see? The guy says, it's a 9. No, it's a 6. So could we agree to disagree? You see? Because one of them says it's a 6 and he's right. The other one sees a 9. He's also right. But why do we have to hate each other? I mean, you've got Thanksgiving coming. And this COVID-19 is going to have civil war in the families instead of thanking God for what we have. So, and the other thing that she sent me is unbelievable. Nice little couple. They're wearing a t-shirt, one of half a heart on one, the other half on the other one. They're holding hands, and one says vaxxed and unvaxxed. They love each other. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. So teenagers, don't stay alone. All right. And I think the best advice is go and see a specialist. Okay. In the schools nowadays, you have counselors. Go and see your counselor and say, I have black thoughts. I have thoughts of suicide. I have thoughts of, I don't feel like I'm contributing. Just tell them the truth. They're going to help you out. Okay. Keep away from naysayers.
Yes. Okay.
And how do you do that? And a lot of people, they write to us and they say, how do you get away from a naysayer? I got 2 tricks. They're very simple. If it's over the phone, and you always have this aunt or somebody in your family that's and they're going, yeah, it's bad. The whole world's coming apart.
Yeah.
Say, I tell them, oh, auntie, yeah, I gotta let you go because the child is near the stove, and I hang up. I don't have children anymore. My oldest one, my oldest one is 52 years old. So then the person says, well, Robert doesn't have any children. Then they get the message. Okay.
Yeah, right.
The next one is at Christmas or when it's going to happen at your Thanksgiving, and they start. Say, sorry, I got to go to the washroom. You take 2-3 steps, you turn around, you go and talk to somebody else. The message they're going to get. Keep away. So what I'm saying to them is go get help. Get a friend. You can do community service. Okay? My wife and I, we did for 3 years running, if you have an animal, is zoo therapy. In a hospital with dying people. As much as it was demanding for us, it was actually very rewarding. But we saw people, and some of them had wisdom that were unbelievable for a teenager, but at least you're in action, you understand? And some of them, you're going to see that maybe your life is not that bad after all, but you're not alone. Or sports. It doesn't have to be outrageous. You can go out there and do some sports. You can have a hobby. There's so many things that you can do. Yoga, join yoga, meditation. But one thing that's very important, and Nike said it best, just do it. Don't listen to this, French Canadian speaking guy there that, I'm an old man and all this, and I'm not. No, do it, because you know what? There are too many suicides now because of COVID-19, too many, family violence, which is not necessary, but it can't be done alone. And the example I can say, when your car breaks down, you go and see a mechanic. Last Christmas, my wife bought this washer dryer. I mean, all the buttons and all this. And I live in the country like you do. When something breaks, you fix it yourself. So the seal is leaking, but I said it's brand new. I'm gonna call the appliance repairman. He came in 15 minutes later, comes out with a piece this big, He said, it's this is what's broken, puts a new one in, and that was it. Point in case is when you go and see an expert, they go straight at the problem. They know what to do. They know the questions to ask. So all of you teenagers, yes, we're living in interesting times, very troubled times, I will admit to you. But we as a species, we are resilient, not alone. Don't do it alone. And by the way, being on this thing is being alone.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'd rather go out to the movies. I'd rather take those hikes and go to the park or go out and eat dinner or something, go see a band. I mean, go out, be physical, that physical connection. There's nothing like it.
Just for the sake of what we're discussing, if your state says you got to have a mask, put the mask on. If you got to keep 6 foot distance, then I'm not against that. But what I'm saying is, when you are just going for hours on this thing, by the way, you said posture and you say you feel good. What do you do when you're on this thing?
Yeah, right.
And by the way,
you're literally like this, hunched over. Yeah.
And you're not breathing. And
you're not blinking either. Did you notice that?
And then some of them say, I'm doing exercise, look at my thumbs. By the way, this is funny. I have a granddaughter and she's 16 years old, and we play this game where you're supposed to hold the other person's thumbs.
Yeah.
She's just as strong as I am. Man. But that's not exercise. That's not exercise. That's not like smelling the fresh air in the woods, going for a walk with somebody you love or care for, or a friend that will understand you. You understand? And that's what I'm saying. So my best advice is, don't do it alone. Do it with somebody. And if it's really bad, go get an expert.
Yeah, definitely.
That's always,
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Robert, for being on the show. I appreciate it. Good Solid Health Podcast is available, and we will have all that information below, as well as VProx. I'm saying it good, aren't I?
You were worried, eh? You were practicing in your brain. Yeah, I know it.
As well as VProx will be available. We'll put the link in the description box below. Go ahead and go and check that out. Just like me. I mean, there are so many different reasons why we should do this. Also, I think I was getting ready to start my garden back up again because it's wintertime. We got collard greens and broccoli that loves the winter weather. And that's so good to have. If that's something that you get, kale, if that's something that you can go ahead and get like a little, go to the local grocery store or the local hardware store, pick up one of those greenhouses that cost about $20-$30. I mean, and then just get a pot with some dirt and plant it.
Yeah. Do it yourself, and then get some spices, herbs.
Yeah.
I mean, when you make an omelet with real live
herbs, my gosh, it tastes so good with basil.
It's not the same at all. You know what I mean?
I know. As a matter of fact, let me see. No, my seeds are on the other desk over there, and my grandchildren gave me some seeds, and I'm getting ready to plant them. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, definitely get that garden going. Even if you have to have an indoor garden in the windowsill, they have those little boxes, right? With the herbs that you can put in the windowsill. So get those. I mean, get started. That's, like you said, just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Nike said it best, not me.
That's right. They said it best.
They got the whole world doing exercise by selling running shoes in one slogan. Just do it.
Just do it. I have to say this before we finish today. Last night, and a lot of people think I work a lot. Most people think I work a lot. Actually, I schedule a lot to go automatically up on my site. So I have time off most of the week. And so, I'm with my children last night, and all of us girls, we were in the living room, and we took out Just Dance. I swear to you, I think we did Just Dance for like 2.5 hours. Wow. I fell out cold sleep on the couch, and they did too, right next to me. And it was just so much fun. And we had a great time. It's just, you have to do that. You have to get away and find the time. And I'm sure that we can all find the time to be better and to get healthy.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yes. So thank you guys again so much. Thank you, Robert, for being on the show. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to put this everywhere. All right. Because people need to know about VProx.
Yes.
I'm feeling good about myself, but your last name I still didn't get. That's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so give it a try. Well, just give it a try.
Gauthier.
Close enough. That's nice.
I tried, but
yes, you did good. You did good. I
did good. Okay, so VProx, you guys go ahead and get that, and don't forget Good Solid Health Podcast. And until next time, guys, don't forget to dare to be different. Bye.
Bye now.